a versatile new skill from you, and one skill focus on asking best questions. That's it. So what does that have to do with your value proposition? You may have seen the title caught your attention. So, man, value proposition sucks. That's kind of mean, but I don't want it to be. I need to get your attention that how you're introducing yourself, how you're introducing your business is costing you money. It's confusing. It might be boring. It might just be too long. And those things are driving away the conversations that can help make fun. So I'm going to teach you 5 questions that you need to ask in order to create a value proposition or create a quick introduction that's going to help you turn conversations into clients. That's what I realized years ago. I wrote one of my first trainings was turning conversations into clients. Sometimes I called it from interested to influence. But what I missed was a step. I missed the first part of the conversations. How does it begin? It begins with an introduction. So you never have a conversation without a good introduction. A good introduction has clarity, there's confidence, and it has a little curiosity to it. Okay. So now they're interested to hear more. Now they want to have a conversation. Now, even if they're not the right person, they say, hey, that sounds like something my friend can use, my associate can use. I want to introduce you. That's how we know have a good introduction. A bad introduction is going to leave you confused, like, wait, so what do you do again? Maybe you've heard that before. A bad introduction, they'll say, oh, okay, and they'll walk away. There's no curiosity, there's only confusion. A bad introduction will change the subject. Now, sometimes it's not a bad introduction, it's just the wrong person. Sometimes you're just talking to a person that's not a good fit for what you do or who you are, and that's okay. Our job is not to convince people. We're not in the convincing business. Our job is to make the decision and to have a conversation as easy as possible. We want to be clear, concise, and confident in what we do and expressing how we do it so that the right people want to hear more. So if I had to rename this training for something a little nicer, I would call it how to introduce yourself so people want to hear more. Now, I don't have any slides. I don't write slides. I just want to talk to you about it. Because, and I might do some examples from LinkedIn. It's actually not terrible activity. Because I know if I can help you have strong introductions, whether that's just hire, whether it's a sales call or an investor. This training I originally wrote because there were so many startup founders I ran into, had no idea how to tell other people what they did and why it was important. This training was originally written because there's so many founders with brilliant ideas, world-changing concepts, and it was stuck up here. They couldn't explain it well. And I wrote this training for them. I wrote this training for you because your value proposition is terrible. But they're not going to have conversations that grow a business. Again, it's hiring, investing, or new clients. A strong introduction is the difference. A strong introduction is the key. So, what are the 5 questions we need to ask? First of all, who are you? That's question number 1. Who are you? I hear like the CSI theme song playing in my head. Number 2, what is the outcome that you offer, the transformation that you offer? Number 3, why is it important? Number 4, what happens if we don't work? And number 5, what's next? Okay, so what does that sound like? So I say, hey, my name is Bruce. I make sales simple for startups, founders, coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs just like you. I help them hear yes more often outside of sales by using better questions that stop wasting time on calls that go nowhere, missing out on money, and feeling frustrated. Asking better questions. And so that's going to adjust if you're in person, if you're virtually or online. But hey, let's break it down. So I say, hey, my name is Bruce. Introduce yourself how you want people to address you. So if you're a doctor, lawyer, whatever case, say that in your introduction. If you don't want people to call you Bruce, don't introduce yourself. Yourself as Bruce Hill. There's always Mr. Hill. Um, your nickname, whatever you want people to call you, that's how you should introduce yourself. But here's a word of caution. Don't start listing off your awards, accolades, the school you went to, all the letters after your name. This is not the time. This is not the place. Okay? Right now, we need to talk about why they should listen to you. And we can tell them it is not who you are. You're not important just yet. We'll talk about credibility and building trust in other conversations. Right now, you need to give them a compelling reason to pay attention to you. That is in the transformation. I made sales. Okay. Keywords might not be 4 words. I've seen up to 13 words work. 20 is the maximum. Under 10 is really the sweet spot. Okay. It doesn't have to be 4, but because it's more important to be clear than it is to be clever. And it's more important to be concise than short. The difference is concise is usually the fewest words to say the most information. Short can end up being more confusing. But let's go back. The first one is the clear. So we're going to be clear, we're going to be concise, we're just be confident. We're like, yeah, I might be able to help you with some sales, maybe. It's not very so we're going to be clear, concise, we're going to be confident. So I say, hey, I make sales. That's the outcome. That's the transformation as a result. You work with me and you're here, whether you're marketing, your customer success, whether you're in customer service, there's some application. If you're not to upsell, but if these same skills can improve every customer interaction. Like, well, Bruce, I use AI agents. When we definitely improve the type of questions those agents are asking, so the client has better experience, right? So better questions is how we make sales. So you're asking these questions, how do I want to introduce myself? You're asking yourself that question, and you answer it. You're building an introduction, you're building value proposition that creates conversations, that creates curiosity, creates clarity. I love a good alliteration. Conversations, clarity, curiosity. Write that down. So now they know why they should listen to me. If you want to make sales simple, I should keep listening. So then I say, what? I say yes. Who is it for? That's optional, and that can change from where you're at. So if I'm at a speaker's conference, I'm going to say it makes it simple for speakers. I'm here in the airport in Phoenix right now for National Speakers Association Influence Conference of 2025. And so I say, hey, I make sales simple for speakers just like you. So who it's for can change, but I make sales simple for peer. And how do I do that? Asking them questions. So why do we want to ask better questions? Why is such an important question that's subconsciously asked that we want to consciously answer? Why? It tells not how. This is a big mistake a lot of people make in their conversations, their introductions especially. They start talking about how. This isn't that step. Why? Because it helps you hear yes more often. Again, so we give them another reason we keep listening for the next sentence. So now, we've introduced yourselves, just what you want to call me. Don't worry about a sales coach, 4 times author, international speaker, President's Club award winning. That's cool, but it's not the point in this particular conversation. What's the transformation? Hey, we're going to make sales simple. Okay, great. Why is that important? Why do I care if sales are simple? You're going to hear yes more often. Okay. And then in contrast, that's what I call contrasting statement. So if you're yes more often, the opposite is feeling frustrated, wasting time and losing money, having conversations that don't go anywhere. Wasting time, feeling frustrated, losing money, these are all problems. The opposite of what you're hearing yes more often. So if you hear yes, you're not frustrated, you're pretty happy. I mean, you're not wasting time. It's just moving. Prospect turns into a client. If you hear yes, then you're not wasting time, you're not losing money, anything like that. So it's a contrast, it's literally just the opposite of the first. What happens if we don't hear yes? So that's why how you want to write this for your business. What happens if they don't work with you? And that contrast is going to make your introduction much more compelling. So then I usually like to do a call to action from a stage or workshop. Say, hey, listen, I'll give you a free better questions toolkit. Just visit askingbetterquestions.com. And that's like, oh, okay. Or if you're a person that might ask a question, so tell me about yourself. You can't. The goal of the introduction is create a conversation. A lot of people try and sell an introduction, and it's possible, but talking 10,000. I don't like those ones. So we want to create conversations. Conversations turn into clients. Don't skip a step. Just think for yourself. Hey, is that something you want to hear more about? Tell me about what you do. If you want to learn more, go here. If you want to schedule a call, click here. That's the 5 pieces. That's the 5 questions. Who are you? What do you do? Why does it matter? What happens if I don't do it? What do we want to do next? Right? That's 5. If you're not doing that, this new proposition is nice. Unfortunately, it's not going to compel anyone to take action. The curiosity is not going to have to ask some questions to learn more, right? The lack of clarity is going to stop the conversation before it starts. And you're going to be like, such a great idea. Why didn't it work? Those are value propositions. So they have a strong introduction, leads to great conversation, leads to new clients, leads to growth. Now we're hiring, now we're delivering value, now we're making a world a better place. Everything starts with the introductions. So I hope that you'll take this, you'll apply. Stay tuned for some more workshops where we're going to break it down, report, hold your hand to it, and make sure you like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. Make sure that you practice. You may not get it right because I might not feel natural for the option. You're going to have to practice to find it. This will change over time. It's your This introduction is not the same as it was years ago. I can't remember what it was. I used to say I help speakers, coaches, and authors speak well, but no one really knew what I did. So you're a speaking coach. So now it's communication. Help people with interviews. It's confusing. And it's interesting, working with me, you will feel stronger as communicating, but that's not the point. The point is to drive revenue. Hi, Renee. I want to give you permission to experiment with your introduction. I want to give you permission. It's going to change. It's going to evolve. That's okay. You don't need to make it perfect the first time. You don't have to get it right in one take. Have permission to fail. Okay. So work on your introduction. Let's have some more conversations at Turning Clients. I'm here to help you along the way because remember, one new skill change your life. And the skill we're working on all 2025 is